So our installation is basically one film that's projected onto three large screens. So the screens themselves are going to be about 12 feet tall. And the idea is not just to show a film to an audience, but to immerse the entire audience in the experience of the journey that we followed Tigran on through Armenia, Georgia, and Western Armenia. So what you'll be seeing is images from churches and monasteries throughout Armenia and Western Armenia, places where this music was performed. And so you'll explore the architecture of the churches. You'll travel along with us through the landscapes. And then we use live recordings of the actual music. We use animations throughout the film, and then actual footage of the concerts being performed. So we've done the installation now. We did it in Munich. We've done it in Gyumri. And we just finished 2 shows in LA. And I would say that the thing that people come up to us and say the most is that they feel like they have now been to these places. They feel like they've been to Akhtamar. They've been to Ani, that they took a journey. Basically, whatever space we're doing it in, people have felt like that space was transformed and they were taken on a journey. So people will really get to experience the feeling of these spaces, for example, in Western Armenia, and the full force of what it was for Tigran and the Yerevan State Chamber Choir to give performances there and to hear the music echoing through these buildings. Yeah.
How long?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that I've learned throughout this is when Tigran first asked us to do this, it sounded like, oh, this will be very fun. This is really interesting. And I don't think it was until we were actually in the rural areas of Eastern Turkey on a bus with 25 people that I realized that this whole thing was really this insane vision. And we would show up at a place and they would set up and do a concert, and maybe 20 people would be there and maybe 5 people would be there. But I think the idea of really bringing this music back to these places and having it be played specifically in these churches, in these architectures, to hear the acoustics of these buildings that may not have had music in them for 100 years or more, I think that what I really saw was that his vision of what this was very spiritual, was very big, and was very deep and meaningful.
Where is this project going to lead us? What can we expect?
My biggest hope is that people have an experience. Our purpose. Oh, I'm sorry.
Bravo, Haig. I'll edit this.
Haig Lusavoric.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue, please.
So basically, our biggest hope with this was we decided specifically, so our decision was specifically not to make a documentary that people would passively watch, that people could watch on their laptops. We wanted it to be a really active experience. So what you can really expect out of this is to come out of it feeling like you've had an experience. Not that you just passively watched a film and maybe learned a little bit, but that you yourself have had an experience of the places and the music.
Hi, you're sitting next to a talent, a titan, Didon. In his presence, tell us something about Tigran Hamsyan.
Well, I will tell you this, that I think that he's probably one of the musicians who revolutionized a style, a genre. That's my feeling about his music. I mean, when I hear his music, it's not simply jazz for me. I don't even know, if I could actually call it jazz. Can I? I don't know.
I kind of don't care.
Yeah.
What they call it.
Yeah. Well, especially that he doesn't even care what I call. So, but I think that this is something that develops. I love this interconnections of genres and this mixtures and this intertwining of things, and I think that's what he does in his music. And in fact, mixing the sacred music Lucy Lusso with that so-called jazz or whatever, I don't care what they call jazz, I think is one of the proofs that he does that. He intertwines several things into one, and I love that. So
Dikran, you are known for your talent in improvising. How does one develop that? Is it a feeling? Is it a gift? Is it emotion?
It's basically a state of mind that you can. I mean, you have to sort of have something, that kind of like thinking, but you have to develop that. There's people that can't imagine what is it like to improvise. There's just like a mental state. But so you either develop that early on and you have that, or միակ բանը այն է որ ամեն ինչ ինչ որ արվում է համախմբված արվի, ոչ թե ու ամեն մարդ պետք է իր գործը իմանա, իր գործը անի։ Ամենակարևոր բանը դա է իմ համար, ասենք չգիտեմ, ամեն մարդ խորանա իր մասնագիտության մեջ եւ լավ անի այն ինչ որ անում է, ոչ թե ու չհաբարդանա ինչ որ ես եմ հաբարդանալու միակ բանը այն է որ նախ պետք է ընդհանրապես հաբարդանան մարդը ինքնին պետք է հաբարդ լինի որ ինքը չգիտեմ հայ է կամ հաբարդանալու բան չէ շատ ազգեր կան որ շատ հին ազգեր կան որ հիմա մենակ հաբարդանալով են զբաղվում ու իրանց ասենք չեն զարգանում օրինակ Հայաստանը օրինակ Հունաստանը Պարսկաստանը այդ շատ հնագույն ազգերը հիմա վտանգի տակ են չզարգանալու, որովհետև իրանք միշտ հբարդանում են իրանց ունեցածով։ Այսինքն անցյալով էլի։ Դրա համար ամենակարևոր բանը դա համախմբված ու աշխատանքն է ու իմանալով մարդ պետք է իմանա իր տեղը, այսինքն ինքը ինչ է անում ու իր մասնագիտությամբ առաջ գնա։